Hey, you guys. I want to make it a point to get on here and encourage you with the same encouragement that God is giving me at this time. And this is the message that He's sharing with me this morning. And it's really, really needed right now, because for those who this message resonates with, we feel as if we are things are out of our control, and the picture we had in our mind of how things are supposed to go aren't going the way that we imagined them, and our need for control would have us resist the reality of the situation that we're in right now, or to try to control and try to force something into happening. And God is reminding us to just release control. This is a time of surrendering to God, surrendering control to God, and trusting Him with the outcome, because His ways are higher, and the way He has the story written is going to bring the best outcome. Again, going back to the constant message the Lord has been giving me through Numbers this month, which is 828, that all things are working together for our good. And so we need to keep our hands out of the work of God. And it can be very, very difficult when we feel like things are chaotic, things are not going as planned, okay? But the image that God was giving me this morning was from the movie The Croods, okay? That movie is such a cute movie. It was one of my favorites to watch with my kids. It has a really good storyline and is about family. But in the end of the movie, they are the Croods are these caveman family. They're a caveman family, and the end of the world, so to speak, kind of has come to where they live, and they're being forced out of their current living situation to find a new land to live in. And this is where we're at. We're in on the Hebrew calendar, we're in the 6th month, which is the time of birthing, Elul, the constellation Virgo, birthing new beginnings. But it's also the 12th month on the Hebrew calendar, because the Hebrew calendar has 2 calendars. So it's the 12th month, which is, again, bringing things to a close. And so we can step into something new. So in the Croods, they're forced out of everything that they know, and there is a fear and a resistance to this change, especially from the head of the household, who is really, he is not wanting to move, but if he doesn't move, they're going to be destroyed. So towards the end, they finally come, everything's collapsing behind them, and they're at this cliff, and there is like fog and smoke and everything, so you can't see what's beyond. So they had to take a leap. They had to jump, not knowing if they were jumping into their death or not. But it ends up being a new beginning. And so we're at this place and at this point in time for many of us where new beginnings are about to emerge, but it's requiring a leap of faith. And we want to know what the outcome is going to be. We want to know how everything's going to work out. We want to know all those details to the bigger picture. And if we know all the details, it will derail the overall picture. We can't know some of these details. We have to walk by faith, okay? We have to trust. We have to take this leap of faith. And we have to trust that God's going to catch us, and He's actually going to make us land right where we're supposed to be. And it is so scary. It is so nerve-wracking, because our human nature wants to control and wants to know everything, and wants logical and tangible reassurance that we're not about to just fail and lose everything that we've worked so hard for, right? It feels like for some of us over the past decade and even longer, we've been working and plowing this field and planting seeds and watering and been gathering, like gathering corn in this bucket to make sure we have what we need, and that the next season is prosperous and bountiful, and we have the provision we need. And all of a sudden, life just kicks you in the gut, and you drop this bucket of all the corn you've been accumulating, and you are discouraged, and you're freaking out because this wasn't supposed to happen. And now what's going to happen next? Now it just looks like everything's going wrong, when in reality there was a point to the process, and God has something better. You may have lost that bucket of corn, but God is freeing your hands up to carry many buckets of something better than corn. Okay? So I'm trying to, get this picture going for you. Okay? God has something better. And so we need to release. We need to be able to surrender all that we've worked so hard for. Are we willing to surrender that to God? Are we willing to not make our own blessings or what we've worked so hard for an idol, where we've become so attached and accustomed to it we don't want to let it go? Because it looks like if we let it go, we're letting go of everything, all the desires of our heart that we work so hard to achieve. But it's part of the process. And whatever you feel like you're losing, know that God is going to restore it back, or he's going to restore it back with something better. Another illustration that the Lord was giving me about this new beginning, the birthing of new beginnings, was that when you give birth, you are transitioning out of, carrying this baby within, and now it's going to come forth. It's going to come out, and it can be terrifying. It can be scary, especially if you're a new mom. Like, you don't know really what to expect. You can read all of the books on what it's going to be like, but it's never going to be like, you're never going to understand fully until you experience it for yourself, what it's like to be a mother. And it can be scary, and we don't see the baby. We don't know what the baby's going to look like, but we know that baby is going to be beautiful and precious and the love of our life. And imagine when it's time for that baby to come out, this is not the time to be asking all the questions to the doctor, right? The doctor cannot sit there and try to answer all your questions and give you all the details. It is time to push. When it's time to push, it's time to push. You got to push that baby out. That baby is not waiting. That baby cannot wait for you to get all the answers and all the understanding of what the process is of this baby coming out, and what it's going to be like when the baby comes out, and all the details. It is time to push this baby out. Ready or not, it is time to push this baby out. And when the baby comes out, everything else, it doesn't matter. You are just so overcome with how beautiful and amazing this precious baby is, and your whole life changes, and it's never the same. And you experience a love and a bliss and just an awe that you've never experienced in your life. There's nothing like it. There's nothing like giving birth to a baby. And so this is not the time to demand answers to all the questions you might be having. This is the time to push, and this is the time to have faith. And this is the time to know that you've been carrying this spiritual baby for a long time, enough to know that it's going to be okay, and it's going to be beautiful, and God has got you. He's going to deliver this baby on time. He's going to deliver this baby healthy, happy, and on time. So trust the process. Whatever you're going through, know that it is all working together for your good. And we're stepping into the new. And it's going to require us to not know all the details. But we've got to take that leap of faith. And so that's where we're at, you guys. That's where we're at. It's uncomfortable. It's scary. I've been seeing boats or ships this month a lot. And I know it's just God saying that we are on a journey somewhere, okay? And even when the storms come, know that Jesus is in the boat with you. He's in the boat with us. So the storms might come and it may look scary, but as long as Jesus is with us, we are safe. We are secure. We can trust where we're going, even if we don't know where or exactly what it looks like.